What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 stuff to talk about. So we've got just a little bit of news and some updates and roundups from what has been rather a busy week in the game. So we're going to talk about secrets and rewards in 0 Hour, some upcoming items and details about what to expect, more updates on Season of Opulence, which of course is launching in less than a month. We've got some vendor changes, the calendar launch, as well as new rewards, catalysts, and we've got some updates on invitations. We're nearing the conclusion of the quest line, and it looks like Season 6 may have just a couple of final tricks up its sleeve. So guys, we'll round it up in this video. As always, if you enjoy this one, a rating below really helps me out. But now let's get into it. So of course, this has been an unexpectedly busy week in the game. We had the launch of Outbreak Perfected. Of course, that comes with a catalyst, the 0 Hour mission itself, and a couple of rewards and things going on inside of there. Firstly, Cosmo did confirm that this mission is staying around permanently. So just like the Whisper of the Worm quest, this one will be able to be completed at any time. Of course, that's definitely positive. I guess it is kind of an aspirational piece of content in itself. And on top of the exotic weapon, there are some other rewards and things going on inside of this mission. We spoke about the ship schematic, and this is available via completing the Void configuration puzzle this week. I'll link a video down below if you want to check out details, but this will be an ongoing quest requiring an Arc and Solar configuration as well. And JP Deathblade shared over on Reddit that there is an extra Last City Triumph to actually acquire this ship, and the ship is called Scrap CF 71791. And here we get a better look at the icon for the classified ship, and this is made from refurbished salvage in the old tower. A lot of folks have been speculating that it would be a Siva-themed ship. It doesn't necessarily look like it right there. But something else interesting, of course, we still have the Fallen transponder in our inventory, and there is a kind of red corrupted style icon variant for the transponder, as well as mention of other items, so presumably something else is going to happen with this. It could be another secret. The schematic appears to be separate, but of course it's possible that they are linked. We'll simply have to wait and see. We first kind of heard about this quest a little while ago from a Reddit post, and some of the text of the quest includes thwarting a heist alongside a new ally. On top of this, once you've completed 0 Hour, Drifter also asks us to bear him in mind, and should we ever go back, he wants us to grab something and return it to him. So it's pretty curious that Drifter actually reacts to us having gone into the old tower. And on top of this, there is a cutscene, which was in Bungie's narrative Vidoc for this season, where the Drifter says this.
And when the time comes, we'll finally be in the clear.
Maybe I'm being dumb here, but I'm pretty sure we haven't actually seen that one in the game. So if this isn't part of an invitation, which it doesn't look like it is, then maybe it's going to be something else linked to this. Either way, there is certainly more to come, and that much is obvious. So yeah, let us know your thoughts about that down below. Also let us know what you think of the quest and the mission in general. I would say it's definitely some of the premiere content this season. And for players that haven't been able to get this done, in the first week or so, of course it is positive that the mission will be sticking around, so bear that one in mind. Now though, let's talk about Season of Opulence. Bungie have finally started rolling out a few details about this. Firstly, a random update that we're going to get in Season 7 is that Xur's random rolls apparently will finally be fixed. And that's definitely a positive because of course Xur doesn't always have, New Year 2 exotics. And for a lot of players who have everything already, of course, good rolls on these pieces of gear are potentially one of the main reasons that you'd want to check them out. So that should be sorted out by the time Season of Opulence launches. Now, Bungie spoke about the raid for Season of Opulence as well, which is launching on June 4th, alongside the launch of the DLC content. So the DLC drops probably around about reset time on June 4th, and then 6 hours later, the new raid is going to be available. And there has been mixed feedback about this. Some folks are really glad that they can just jump into that raid content because, of course, the raid is one of the most important things to certain players. But we have commonly seen suggestions of raids potentially being a little bit further away from launches. And on this subject, Deej did say that we'll reveal the entire calendar of activities before the season begins. I think you'll find something on there that you'll like, and I'll circle back after it's out in the open to see if I'm right. And hopefully we're going to see some of the other Opulence content go live at reset. Things like the 6-player matchmade activity, assuming that that isn't linked to the raid somehow, definitely appears to be a separate thing, and this is going to have its own loot table of weapons and armor. So we'll have to wait a couple of weeks for Bungie to drop that calendar for us. On top of this, there's a lot of conversation about the DLC actually being available for some kind of preload before the day it releases, especially with a raid only a few hours later on. I actually don't think that would be a bad idea, especially, for console users on PS4 and stuff where you can have those copying bugs. Yeah, it definitely can be pretty frustrating, so I think preload would be appreciated when possible. But of course, the raid that Bungie have spoken about is called Crown of Sorrow. Definitely a very interesting title, and that has raised a lot of speculation about who the enemy will actually be inside of the raid. Could it be Callus? Of course, we don't really know where the raid will be located, but the Crown of Sorrow name is very interesting, and that could kind of apply to Callus in a way, right? He was the dethroned emperor of the Cabal. But folks also wonder, could it be a character associated with the Dreaming City? Maybe the Curse? One of the Hive or the orchestrators of the Curse? Something really interesting if we go back to some of Anon the Nine's leaks about what we'd see in year 2 all the way up to D3, he did make reference of the first glimpse of Destiny 3's new enemy being in Penumbra. So that in itself is something that could maybe be interesting. We'll have to see what happens and how long these leaks kind of hold up. And of course we could speculate pretty wildly. Either way, the Crown of Sorrow name is certainly an intriguing one, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about it. In terms of new rewards in Season 7, or even before that, of course as we pointed out on the roadmap, there will be brand new weapons and gear for Season of Opulence, but there is a new visual modifier which is coming for weapons. This is some kind of upgrade that will apply to certain weapons. They could be legendaries or exotics, but we can see this in the database. This one's on Light GG, and there'll probably be a specific few weapons which can actually be affected by them. We don't know what they'll look like or how we'll get them, but this could be possibly linked to upcoming secrets in 0 Hour. Equally, these are things that we could see in Season 7 and beyond. Now, we're almost certainly going to see quite a few exotic catalysts drop in Season 7. We spoke about this briefly, but the database was updated recently with a slot for every weapon in Year 2 to actually have an exotic catalyst. So of course, I'm referring to exotic weapons specifically, but we do, however, only get stats for some of the weapons. But in terms of what's been updated in the API with the Catalyst slot, we can see all of these weapons here, and that pretty much accounts for all the weapons in Year 2. So yeah, I would guess most of them are likely to drop next season, unless we get a cheeky couple of them drop before then. But of course, the hugely important thing here, or at least for me and I think a few other people, is that we now know Bungie aren't done with exotic catalysts, right? I mean, it will have been a year since we got the first lot of catalysts, so either way, it's good to know that more are coming, and with so many of these kind of being prepared in the game, it's likely that the vast majority will be for Season 7 and beyond. And that would make sense, because also in Season 7, the faction catalysts from Year 1 will become available again, and Bungie will give us further details on exactly how we can get them. A couple of other updates for Opulence. The Iron Banner ship from this season, which was bugged and didn't drop, has been pushed to next season. So if you're curious about that one, it will become available in Iron Banners in June and beyond. And just in case raid stuff is important, do bear in mind that Last Wish and Scourge of the Past will be unavailable immediately after Season 7 launches until the new raid Crown of Sorrow has actually been beaten. So that's likely only going to be, a handful of hours. And it looks like we might see a few kind of progression and power changes alongside some adjustments to Prime attunements early on at the reset. And in terms of future content, Cosmo responded to some feedback about missions with excessive amounts of jumping and stuff like that, very much like 0 Hour. Of course, that was the reference point. And he said that we totally understand that some players don't like jumping puzzles or timed activities. And he adds that not all future activities will require jumping puzzles or timed execution, and that Bungie will continue to create different content for different moods. So I guess that's always good to know, but we're going to see additional vendor changes, sandbox stuff, things like the not forgotten Lunar nerf. But again, here is our first glimpse of the Season of Opulence artwork, and we can see that Leviathan theme with the chalice. Initially I thought this was actually linked directly to the raid, but it is titled Season of Opulence banner, so I'm guessing it's going to be more of the generic Season of Opulence icon. Let us know down below though if you're looking forward to the next major annual pass drop. Now finally, we have the Xur invite for the week. A lot of people were asking me yesterday, why do they still have the tower bounty? The best advice I can give you is that each week you have to complete Xur's bounty before the daily reset that happens on Thursday, so that will be 10 AM PST, 6 PM in the UK, and even if you complete the bounty on Thursday, but it's after that time, it will actually mean that you can't access another bounty inside of that week, right? So essentially, whenever you have a Xur bounty, make sure that you clear it by Wednesday the following week, and then you'll be absolutely 100% safe. But if you are up to date, next week is going to mark the arrival of the final invite, so that in itself is going to be pretty interesting. This week we're going to need Hive samples, Scorn samples, and Taken samples in the Dreaming City, as well as completing the Corrupted strike. Now Taken samples are going to drop in Corrupted, you'll probably have them done by the time you finish that. For Scorn samples, the easiest place to go is going to be the Lost Sector immediately behind the spawn in Dreaming City, and that's the Bay of Drowned Wishes, loads of Scorn in there. And then finally for this week, if you need Hive kills, we are on a Hive week in the Blind Dwell, so you'll get those finished in there pretty quickly. Of course, following that, we can check out the cutscene for the week, so here it is.
Hey, how you living, sister? What can old Drifter do for you today? Wanna play some Gambit?
The Dredgen has visions. They disturb him.
You know about those, huh? You the one causing them? Tell you right now, I don't appreciate what they say.
The gift is showing you what you must see. It is your fate.
No. I make my own choices.
If that is what you want to believe.
Freaking psycho.
Now we see those pyramid ships, which is really cool, and that absolutely confirms that this is what the Drifter has been seeing in his visions, and he talks about another extinction level event happening in the future, so he also knows that this is coming up. But of course the pyramid ships right here have been teased much more vividly than in other premonitions, and Destiny 3 is supposedly when we'll learn kind of more about this. Although once again, according to those leaks, our first preview of that new enemy race is supposedly going to happen in Season of Opulence. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff coming up. So let me know your thoughts about all of this stuff down below, guys. For today though, I think that is going to summarize the video. So if you've enjoyed this one, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any content. Also check out my sponsors, Now Drinks, who have some awesome drinks designed for gamers. But these are the healthier option. Instead of being packed with sugar and caffeine, they are made with all natural ingredients. So check those out if you want, and you can save 10% in the store using code Houndish. The link for that will be down below. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you very soon.